All right, before we dive in, just a quick disclaimer, this is all for educational purposes and it is definitely not financial advice. All right, let's get into it. Plazm Day 118. And I've got to say, folks, this is the one. The one we have all been waiting for. This is so much more than just a daily update. We're talking about a truly historic milestone here. And there it is. The day has finally arrived. After 34 days of some really intense, calculated pressure, the Plazm protocol has officially achieved normalization. The stress test? It's complete. This is the moment. You know, looking at this timeline really puts the whole journey into perspective. This was not a short sprint, not at all. It was a 34-day marathon. We kicked things off on day 84. Weathered that absolute peak pressure of a 733,000 token release on day 94, and then we withstood that final major test, that 477,000 token release just a few days back. And today, day 118, it's done. But here's the thing, and this is the most important part. The protocol didn't just, endure the pressure. It didn't just survive. No, it fundamentally transformed itself under all that stress. And the data we're about to walk through, it proves it, point by point. Okay, first up, let's talk about the fire. We're talking about the token burn, of course, because what happened here, well, it was nothing short of explosive. Just look at that number. 944,760 Plazm gone, permanently removed from the supply. That officially takes us over the 15% mark of the total supply, and wow, we are knocking on the door of 1 million tokens burned forever. And this, right here, this shows you just how big that change was. Think about it. When this whole stress test kicked off on day 84, only 3% of the supply had been burned. Today, 15% is gone. The rate of token destruction just went into overdrive right when the pressure was at its absolute highest. The hard numbers are, well, they're even more staggering. We went from around 126,000 tokens burned to nearly 945,000. Let that sink in. That's a 649% increase in burned Plazm in just 34 days. I mean, what an incredible testament to how this protocol is designed to work. All right, next up, let's talk about defense, how the protocol basically built a fortress around itself. And that means we're diving into bonds and staking. And here's another huge milestone for you. Plazm now controls over 29% of all the bonds in the entire DexFi ecosystem. So why is that such a big deal? Because it means almost a third of all trading fees in the whole ecosystem are now flowing right back here to defend and strengthen this protocol. So while the bonds were building this incredible wall, the stakers, they were showing their conviction. At the start of the test, we were at 1.24 million Plazm staked. Today, we're at 2.33 million. That's an 88% jump. People chose to lock up over 1 million additional tokens during the most stressful period of the protocol's life. That says a lot. And all of this, the burns, the bonds, the staking, it all leads to what might be the single most critical transformation of all, the fundamental shift in the protocol's supply structure. So get this, on day 84, the supply was basically split down the middle. 50% was liquid, able to create sell pressure, and 50% was protected. But today, oh, it's not even close anymore. A whopping 73% of the entire supply is now protected, which leaves just 27% liquid. That is a massive 23-point swing, all in favor of stability. And here's what that looks like in the final breakdown. You've got 36% staked, 22% in liquidity pairs, and that 15% we talked about is burned. You add all that up and you get that incredible 73% protected figure. It just completely dwarfs the 27% that's still liquid. The very DNA of the supply has been rewritten. So, okay, the test is done, the protocol is transformed. What's next? What's on the horizon now that we're in this post-normalization world? Let's take a look. The daily pressure, well, it's about to fall off a cliff. I mean, we just came out of that huge day 114 release of 477,000 tokens. Today's release is back to a normal 122,000. But look ahead. Just 2 days from now, on day 120, the release is only 62,000 tokens. That's an 87% drop in pressure from what we saw just 4 days ago. The storm has passed, folks. Okay, now it's time to put all these pieces together. Let's look at the complete proof, the final scorecard of this incredible transformation. This is it, the complete scorecard, day 84 versus day 118. Let's just walk through this. Burn percentage, up 649%. Staked tokens, up 88%. The liquid supply, slashed by 23 points. Protected supply, up by that exact same 23 points. Bond share, up over 5 percentage points. Total shares, up 78%. Look at that. Every single core metric, without a single exception, got stronger during the stress test. That's the proof.
So, what's the final verdict on day 118? Well, it couldn't be clearer. It's decisive, and it's all backed by 34 days of cold, hard data.
Let's just run through the checklist one last time. Burns crossing 15%? Check. Staking hitting 2.33 million? Check. Bond share crossing 29%? Check. Protected supply at 73%? You bet. Total shares up 78%? Check. Stress test complete? Check. Protocol normalized? A big final check. It's a clean sweep. You know, that whole idea of an anti-fragile design? Well, it's not a theory anymore. For 34 straight days, it was put to the ultimate test, and the outcome is just undeniable. The stress test didn't break this protocol, it proved it. Welcome to the next chapter. And we'll just end where we started. Please remember, all this information is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Never, ever invest more than you're willing to lose, and always, always do your own research.